Hello friends, today we are going to discuss a very philosophical poem written by Lord Alfred Tennyson, who belongs to Victorian era. This poem is Crossing the Bar, which the poet has published in the year 1889 at the age of 83. This is an elegiac poem. Tennyson was the representative poet of Victorian age and poet laureate for over 40 years. He died in 1892. Crossing the Bar was written 3 years before his death. The poet wanted that this poem should be printed at the end of all the editions of his poems. The poet expresses his willingness to meet death and prepare his journey to the eternal home of God. The poem expresses the poet's fearlessness at the time of death. Now, this is the text of Crossing the Bar. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. Now the author is contemplating a voyage. He knew that the sunset of his life has come. Sunset symbolizes old age or loss of youth, whereas evening star symbolizes Venus, which means peace and retirement. So author knew that he has already reached his old age. He has already lost his youth, and the evening star is summoning him. And he knew that there is a clear call from Almighty, from God, and that call is from eternity, from heaven. So author wanted to comfort his near and dear one that when he will set out for a voyage to eternity, let there be no mourning, because anyhow he had to cross the bar. Bar is the barrier which differentiate between life and death. Therefore, in a way, the poet is preparing a mood for his near and dear one that they should not mourn. They should be prepared mentally that at any point of time there will be a summon from eternity, from heaven, and he had to set out for a voyage. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Now author says that it appears as if that the tide of the ocean is asleep, means the tide is inviting poet for a long journey, for a voyage. The poet knew that now it is high time that he should initiate a voyage for eternity, for heaven, because almost all the constraints are about to be dissolved. And the ocean herself is inviting the poet for a voyage. And the poet says that now he had to initiate a voyage in the boundless deep ocean. And when this voyage will come to an end, definitely he will reach a new destination of his. And that destination is heaven only, the eternal home of God. In a way, the author is preparing himself for an eternal voyage. Twilight and evening bell, and after that, dark. Twilight means the end of the day, and evening bell symbolizes sadness and mourning. So, almost the end of his life is about to come. Means he has already reached 80 years, and he knew that at any point of time there will be a summon, there will be a call from Almighty. The evening of his life is going on, and at any point of time there will be a call. So author says that after our death there is utter darkness. We lose sensation, we lose consciousness the moment we die. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. Now the poet, in fact, is addressing his friends, his relatives, and his near and dear one that if he will go for a voyage, means when he will die, Let there be no mourning. Let there be no farewell. Let there be no sadness. Because in a way, he is not dying. He is merely changing the world. He is going from this material world to the eternal world. That is, eternal abode will be his new home. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far. Author says that the constraints of time and space will dissolve the moment he will initiate a voyage towards eternity, towards divinity, towards heaven. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. Now, the pilot is none other than Jesus Christ, or the God of the poet, the God who, in fact, creates the entire world. So, the author knew that when his voyage will come to an end, he will see his pilot. He will see Almighty. He will see Jesus Christ face to face, because this is what this is what has been written in Bible. The author therefore wanted to take a long voyage because he wanted to see his pilot face to face. The poem was written shortly after the poet has recovered from a protracted illness. After his death, the poet would go away from this material world to the kingdom of God. Now, this is the gist of the poem. The poet wanted to go on a voyage, and therefore, that voyage means the end of his material world, and he wanted to go to the kingdom of God. The poet feels a strong urge to leave the material world, which is bound by the limitations of time and space. The bar is the barrier between life and death. This is an allegorical poem, and this poem discusses about the death as a journey and not an end. Pilot, God Himself, Jesus Christ. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.